My MVP for the Lions this season is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the reason for that is because not only has he stepped up when Brett Holmes, proved Brett Holmes right. We've all talked about his talent evaluation and fourth-round selection. His guy, Stick talked about it yesterday and really proved him right. Not only that, but he also stepped up when the Lions needed him the most. I mean, the Lions, remember the offseason before the season, they signed Tyrell Williams. They signed Brashad Perryman. They had Quintez Cephas. I mean, Amon-Ra was probably your fourth receiver on the depth chart. And by the end of the season, not only was he your number one receiver, he was your number one option on offense. You had no T.J. Hockenson. So what he was able to do as their number one wide receiver, the number one option, able to put up more than 900 yards, I think over 100 receptions. It's absolutely impressive. He beat the reception rookie record by, I think, all Lions rookies. So the work he's done this year with Jared Goff, with Tim Boyle, like different quarterbacks, and he still found production every single game towards the late of the season. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown as my MVP.
I struggled with this one, and Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't even at the top two of my list. I struggled between two offensive linemen, Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. And I'm going to end up going with Penei Sewell because his ability and flexibility is what really propelled, I believe, the offense down the stretch, especially when Decker came back. You have to remember, Decker came back, but who moved to right tackle and actually succeeded and allowed that offensive line to be almost complete? Obviously, Ragnar going down. I think it was Penei Sewell, and it wasn't even close. Penei Sewell was the best player Week 1 to Week 18 for the Detroit Lions this year. And I thought about giving it to Taylor Decker because when he came back, you kind of saw the offensive spark, but that wasn't just down to his play. A lot of things went into that. Dan Campbell taking over play calling shortly after. And again, Penei Sewell on the right side of the line was one of the best right tackles down the stretch. So for me, maybe if you wanted me to give a ranking, I'd tell you 1 Sewell, 2 Decker, 3 Brown, and I think 4 Charles Harris. I don't want to forget Charles Harris. He provided a good pass rush.
Amani Oruwariye too. Don't forget about him on defense.
A lot of I think the word I'm looking for this morning is a lot of people that stepped up during a time of crisis. And I think they all deserve recognition. But for me, Penei Sewell was the most valuable and complete player from Week 1 to Week 18. If I'm giving the award to St. Brown, then I'm just forgetting Week 1 and Week 12, Week 13?
Well, yeah, he wasn't.
Where he was irrelevant. It was 3 catches, 50 yards, 6 catches, 40 yards. And he was never able to get into the offense. He never had a rhythm. Down the stretch, he was amazing. Do I just forget about what Penei Sewell did at left tackle to start the year?
But he had some rough weeks.
That provided that offensive line.
Some very rough weeks.
So he had a 2-week stretch against Chicago, and I believe the following game.
Which is not a big deal, but,
a rookie starting at left tackle. He plays, I believe he was a top 10 left tackle, according to PFF, for those first 8-9 weeks. He goes to right tackle, top 10 right tackle.
Yeah, you're right.
The versatility on Penei Sewell, for me, was probably...
No, it's a win-win. Like, you had Amon-Ra St. Brown, second PFF graded rookie wide receiver out of the entire season, not the second half. It was the entire season. So Amon-Ra, I think Penei, you can't go wrong. Taylor Decker is actually a good one because when he came back, things changed dramatically with the team. So you can't really go wrong. I like Amani Oruwariye somewhere in there too as well. He was the best corner, and he was the only guys that were healthy all season. So I like the poll though in the chat. We have a lot of people saying different things. Right now, it's between Sewell or St. Brown. So they kind of agree similarly. So
yeah, look, I think the thing I have again with St. Brown, my issue is most valuable for the entire season, where he was irrelevant for 12 weeks.
No,
11, 12 weeks, irrelevant.
He had so this is his game
log.
He had
one, I believe, 70-yard game. So those first 10, 11 weeks.
The first 4, he had 70 yards in the first 4 weeks. And then after that, it was around 60, 50, 60, 80.
Which is...
third. So he's like, that's what he was, though. He ended with 900 yards. But the reason why I say also Amon-Ra is without Amon-Ra, you had no Quintez, you had no Tyrell, you had no Brashad Perryman. You would have had Khalif Raymond. That's your only wide receiver.
Well, I thought Josh Reynolds did a hell of a job stepping up.
I'm talking Josh came in this second. I mean, like towards 12.
So that's another one. Josh Reynolds came in and really made Jared Goff look a lot better right away.
But that was week 12?
Yeah.
So what happened the first 12 weeks? It was just Because Quintez was out, week 3? He was out early in the season. I think Quintez got hurt.
I think first impressions matter, and I believe week 6 for Quintez.
So he was out. Tyrell was out immediately. Brashad didn't work out.
Think about it this way. Penei Sewell, his season started, I would say, in probably one of the more difficult ways. Preseason, he looked completely lost at right tackle.
Right.
He's moved to left tackle days leading up to the Niner game because Taylor Decker's hurt. The kid shines against Nick Bosa.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Does very well probably from then till week 8, week 9. Decker comes back. He moves to right tackle. And he does something I really didn't think he could do. He shines at right tackle. Hell yeah. That's my MVP.
Yeah.
I know it's a rookie. Yeah, there's guys like, Taylor Decker, Amari. I don't know.
What about you, Stick? What about you? Because we got 2 differing opinions. We can go around.
Initially, when you asked the question, I thought Taylor Decker. Because I'm thinking impact on the team when they were playing. And, you saw when he wasn't there, it was a rough sledding to get things going. When he came back, you moved Penei Sewell over to right tackle. Decker, offense starts to take off. But there's a lot that goes into that because that's also the time, around the time Dan Campbell took over the play calling. It's also around the same time we got Josh Reynolds back. So there's layers to it. So initially, I thought Decker. But I just love that we're having a debate over the MVPs being between 2 rookies. I love that. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Oh, Brad Holmes is crushing it.
And that's what
And when's the last time, again, you trusted a GM the way you trust Brad Holmes right now? Not in your lifetime, Detroit. I'll tell you. I'll answer for you. Don't worry. I've got all the answers. You've never trusted a GM the way you've trusted Brad Holmes. That is a fact.
No.
I mean, he's crushed it. He really has. And I don't think Sewell was put in a bad situation, Eminem. I don't.
No.
I really don't. Because, he was drafted. They told him, all right, you're going to play right tackle. He trained all training camp and preseason. And he didn't look good.
Right.
It didn't look natural to him. And what happened?
Decker.
He was able to play at left tackle, get adjusted to the speed of the game for 8-9 weeks. And when time came to go back to right tackle, he was ready because he had already adjusted.
Yeah. Played just as solid, which is weird.
That's my MVP. That's my MVP. I'm glad Stick said Taylor Decker too. I feel like that's a guy that, and he got a lot of flack from me this year, but that's a guy that really came in and you just saw calmness on the offensive line. You saw something different, but a lot of that goes down to play calling, right? Dan Campbell took over play calling. Amon-Ra St. Brown emerged.
Easier when you have the best offensive line in the division, right? Like, once that offense, because that was the talk going into the season. That's why I know everybody clowned me, but that's why I thought this team was capable of winning 8 games because of that offensive line and being dominant. Once that fell apart, obviously things change. But, man, look at our offensive line. Ragnow, All-Pro, Pro Bowler. Taylor Decker, All-Pro, Pro Bowler. Penei Sewell, All-Pro, soon-to-be Pro Bowler. We got some strengths going on, and if we can rely on that and actually hone that strength, Lions are looking good, man.
Lions, look, I'm always going to disagree with you about last season. It was always a 3-win season, but this year, I'm willing to have that conversation of, I 8-9 wins. I really am. I'm getting all the rookies back.
If things go right.
Not even that. No, the schedule is much easier, Stick. Last year, they had the 4th hardest schedule. This year, they're going to have the 4th easiest schedule. Not only is the schedule easier, Jared Goff hopefully is healthy for the rest of the year. You're going to get your offensive line back. I don't care if DeAndre Swift is healthy. Anybody can run with that offensive line. That's a good thing to have.
You saw a lot. Yeah, Netflix.
TJ Hawkinson hopefully comes back healthy. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I'm not even including the draft picks that you're going to have this year. You have 2 first-round draft picks. I'm not including that hopefully Jeff Okudah comes back. And even if he comes back and he sucks, your defense showed it could at least hold its own throughout the season, even without any talent. The Lions, to me, I'm willing to have the conversation this season that they can win 8-9 games. For me, that's not, oh my goodness, I'm reaching. No,
welcome to the club, baby. Woo-hoo! 8 wins, let's go.
10-7 in a playoff win?
Now 12 wins, 13 wins. Now you guys are back on the dope train, right? But I think 8-9 is super fair, and I think you want to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Nobody wants to see back-to-back 3-win seasons from Dan Campbell. I mean, he's basically going to be on eggshells going into year 3.
Definitely.
And the pressure is just going to be so much more. So, best case scenario for me for the Lions, give Penei Sewell the MVP. And you know what's stick? Before I forget, we brought up earlier in the season about trading Taylor Decker. So post June 1st, it's going to be pretty easy to trade him. Now, I don't think you do.
No.
Going into next season, I just don't. At the time, his value was extremely high. The cap situation was a bit tricky to even deal him. But looking at this team right now, how do you build culture? Right? Everybody talks about Dan Campbell, culture guy, right? Culture. That's all I ever hear. How do you build culture? You need to win football games. You know how you build a winning culture? I got a secret for you guys. Pay attention. To build a winning culture, you win. Oh. I know that's a lot. I know it's a lot right now. Okay? We're going to take a deep breath. Group therapy session. To build a winning culture, you need to win. Repeat after me. Win. So,
Win.
yes, I don't think you trade Decker anymore. I really don't. I think we're past that. Maybe frustration boiled over during the season. Who knows? But look, may I remind you, that was an 0-9 football team or 0-8 football team at the time. Finally. And again, I don't need Jared Goff to be Matthew Stafford, to be Russell Wilson, to be any of these guys. I just need him to make the throws when we ask him to make them and not to turn the ball over. And you can win football games. Don't believe me? Ryan Tannehill got a #1 seed with the Tennessee Titans. They didn't ask much of him. You don't need the great quarterback to at least win in the regular season. And then if you want to bank on winning a Super Bowl with a Nick Foles or a Joe Flacco, sure, you can win a Super Bowl every 18, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Who knows? That isn't likely, but still. That's the route you're going to have to take. So, that was fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. MVP, I like my Penei Sewell pick. I don't mind the Amon-Ra St. Brown. I feel like that's the easy pick. You know, because he was so explosive down the stretch. That's all anybody remembers. But I remember the Aaron Donald scruff. I remember him stopping Nick Bosa. I remember him going into Lambeau early on and actually playing pretty well.
That's funny because for some reason I thought Penei was the easy pick. I don't know why. Just because he's the
Really?
first round pick. Yeah, he was the guy all season. But Amon-Ra, to your point, I mean, he had an explosive end of the season. You can't go wrong with either.
Hey, you made it all the way through. I'm so proud of you. Why don't you make me more proud? Like, subscribe, and watch another video.